Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jay and here I discuss with you Chinese drama land from an outsider's perspective. Today I'd like to talk about the drama 10 Miles of Peach Blossom or Eternal Love or San Sheng San Shi Li Tao Hua. 3 lives, 3 worlds, 10 miles of peach blossom. Grab a beverage of your liking, lean back and follow me through the story of 10 miles of peach blossom. I wanted to say Nirvana and Fire. That's wrong. We're here for 10 miles of peach blossom, Eternal Love. So the title of 10 miles of peach blossom, that was San Sheng San Li Tao Hua. The 3 lives and the 3 worlds are part of the life journey of our main character, Xian. But let me give you a short overview of what we're talking about today. At first, I will explain the setting of the whole story, so the background. Then I will tell you about the most important characters. Here we have a lot of characters, so that will take some time. After that, I'm going to explain the first part of the story, so I'm just going into further detail with the first life of Xian, so that there won't be too many spoilers for you if you did not watch it yet. And in the end, I want to talk about more about what I liked and what I didn't like. Let's start. Eternal Love or 10 Miles of Peach Blossom is set in a fantasy world of xian. That means higher powers, magic, fairies, all the good stuffs are existing there. And by cultivating, everyone can become a god over the years. So actually you can become immortal, if you want to say it like that. In 10 Miles of Peach Blossom, we have different areas that are inherited by different species. Let's start off with the Heavenly Kingdom. That's a very, very powerful area where a lot of high gods are living. They are also responsible for other things, like the weather, for example. The Heavenly Kingdom has a lot of monumental architecture. So you can imagine it like the palace in Beijing, for example. So you have stone floors, high walls, and a lot of different palaces. The second place is the demonic realm. Like the name says it, the demons are living there. It is much more natural with not so high-end buildings. Yet it seems very cozy to me actually. It is said to be an evil place that you don't want to go actually. But don't they just want to live and have a peaceful life as well? I'm not so sure about that. Are they evil? Do they just want to have a good life as well? Do they not want to be oppressed by the Heavenly Kingdom? Maybe? And then there is Qinqiu. This realm is ruled by the 9-tailed foxes. They are more simple but lead happy lives there. The earth spirits are living there. And as you might tell, in these beautiful valleys, they live a more nature-bound life. The next place is the mortal realm. It's like how we know it. It's kind of a medieval, historical setting that we experience. The 5th place is Kunlun. It's the mountains, where the high god of war, Mo Yuan, lives. There he teaches his disciples. There are many different areas to Kunlun as well. We have the lotus pond, for example, where the golden lotus grows. And there are cranes that they need to feed. The sixth place is the Peach Blossom Grove. This is a place made by a xian. He is a very old and skilled god, but he chose not to be mingled in the society anymore. So that's kind of his man cave area. And last but not least, we have the Nix. They are part of the demon clan. Overall, they're just seen here fighting against the heavens for Shanghai, or the northern sea area. Let's head to people. At first, of course, we have our main character, Bai Tian. Bai Tian is born to be the youngest child of the rulers of Qingqiu. Now I'd like to split off her life journey into 3 parts because of the name of the whole story. So we have her first life, her second life, and her third life. I'm not going into detail, but I just want to give an overview to each of these lives. In her first life, Bai Tian gets sent to Kunlun to learn there. The high god Zhiyan goes there with her so that Moyuan will take her in as a disciple. To become accepted, she has to disguise as a man and take the name of xian. As xian, Bai Tian has to face a lot of adventures with the other disciples of Moyuan. Then we've got the second life. After some world-changing events, xian kinda disappears and Bai Tian lives as herself in Qingqiu again. But after a while, unfortunate events make her lose her memory and she has to live as a normal mortal human. In this life, she meets Yehua, the crown prince of the heavenly kingdom. At first, they live a simple and happy life, but after a while, because Yehua is the crown prince of the heavens, she suffers a lot because she's just a mortal human being and not a god. So she has to face a lot of discrimination. Let's get to her third life. After she had to suffer as a mortal human being, she comes to get back to her old self, the high goddess Bai Tian. But she doesn't want to remember all of what she had gone through, so she asks Zhiyan to give her a special drink so that she would lose all of her memory regarding her mortal life. That includes Yehua, of course. But will they get back together? Does Yehua have a chance to change her again? Is she going to get revenge for what they did to her? Or is she going to lead a simple, happy life on her own in Qingqiu? I won't tell you. The second person I want to mention is Yehua, of course, the crown prince of heaven. He is very skilled. We can see that because he becomes a god before turning 20,000 years old. And that's something not a lot of people did achieve. But he just did it because he wanted to see his mother. He wasn't allowed to see her. So he gave everything that he would turn into a god early. We can see from the beginning on, he didn't have a very happy life. Now I want to talk about a bit of the person in heaven. At first, of course, we have the heavenly emperor. He is a narrow-minded. Then the first prince. He is highly respected and becomes the father of Yehua. He cares a lot about the career of his son and not so much if his son is happy or not. Then we have the second prince. He's the one who runs away with the servant of his fiancée. The third prince of heaven is a cool dude, and you can talk about everything with him. Then we have Donghua Dijun. He's a very old high god who once had the power over the world, basically. But one day, back in the days, he decides that he doesn't want the power and he gives it away to other people. Yet he still has a lot of say in the Heavenly Kingdom. And then there's Siming. He's always with Dijun. He's supposed to write the fate of the mortal beings. But he also likes gossip. And especially he likes to gossip with Bai Fengxiu. Bai Fengxiu is the daughter of the first prince of Qingqiu. So Bai Qian is her aunt. She spends a lot of time at the heavens because she wants to repay Donghua Dijun for saving her life. This is a very cool side plot as well, just to mention. The next one I want to talk about is Su Ting. She is really a nasty little evildoer. She envies people even though she has a really high status and basically everything she could think of right now. She received her high status because her whole clan sacrificed themselves for the peace of the Heavenly Kingdom. She lives with the wife of the first prince and grew up with Yehua. And of course fell in love with him when they were just little. So she wants to be with him and she would do everything to get him. Next I want to talk about the people of the demon clan. There is, of course, the demon king. He kinda has ruler of the world attitudes and wants to attain more power. He is very strong and cunning. And the first prince. He is a warmonger in the footsteps of his father and he killed the mother of the second prince. Nice family. The second prince. He's got no time for faithfulness, but he kind of leads a miserable life because of his past and his own wrongdoings. Overall, he's kind of selfish, but a warm-hearted person most of the time. He's a plant lover and a foodie. Then there is his wife. She's originally from the heavens and a cousin of Bai Qian. She envies her since their childhood. She meets again with Bai Qian when she is xian because she does not want to marry a bear. There she wants to try and steal the heart of the second prince of Demon Clan, but he regrets his actions quite immediately. She, on the other hand, does everything to get him to marry her. She has a very cunning nature and in the end, well, she gets what she deserves for going against nature. Last but not least, there is the demon princess. She is my most beloved character in this series. She is a very well protected sweetheart who wouldn't harm anyone. She does what she can to protect her family and her loved ones, but eventually she gives up on society. And lastly, we have the people of Kunlun. There is the high god of war, Mo Yuan. He is one of the sons of the godfather and a very, very old god. He lives in Kunlun as the Shifu of his 17 disciples, and he's got a very sweet spot for his 17th disciple, Xian. Now, the disciples. They all come from very different backgrounds. We have princes and just commoners. They all have a very close relationship to each other. After some unfortunate events, they spend a lot of time on finding their teacher and Xian. Will they find them? I don't tell you. So, let's have a look at the story. This story is very densely packed with facts about the history and the fantasy of this world. There are a lot of political connections that determine the interactions between the different characters. And in most places there is a very strict hierarchy that the people have to follow. If they don't follow that and the rules, they will get severe punishments. But in Qingqiu, for example, everything is a little bit more easygoing. In this earthbound country with its beautiful valleys and rivers, Bai Qian gets born as a nine-tailed fox. She is the fifth child of the Empress and the Emperor. But she is a very unruly little girl, so she gets sent to learn in Kunlun. Like I said, for learning in Kunlun, she has to disguise as a man called xian. By arrival there with xian, she gets chosen by the Yuqing Kunlun Sha, a renowned treasure of Kunlun, a fan, that she would be its master. So, even though Mo Yuan sees through her disguise and knows that she is a woman, he takes this as a sign to take her in as his disciple. Many thousand years go by peacefully as all of them are learning and playing and training in the Kunlun Mountains. But eventually, Xian gets into trouble. Her Shifu is always there to help her out. In the end, it gets known to everyone that Xian is the most beloved disciple of Mo Yuan. The demon clan wants to fight heaven because they want to gain power. Therefore, Demon King uses an unfortunate situation for his own bad deeds. He can get his hands on Xian and one of the other disciples. When having them at the demon realm, he is saying to everyone that he will make one of the disciples his son. He says it because he wants to anger all the other clans and start a war like that. Xian, on the other hand, meets the demon princess, who falls in love with her. She wants to help Xian and thinks about a way that Xian could escape. But on her way, Xian bumps into the second prince of Demon Clan. This is the beginning of a life-changing relationship between the two. After a while, Mo Yuan is able to save both of his disciples. Right at the same time, Xian is having her sign so that she can raise from a fairy to a god or goddess. But signs are always coming with some sort of suffering. So this time it's lightning strikes. But Mo Yuan takes these for her, so he suffers so that she does not have to suffer her sign. But the demon lord had what he wanted and declared war to the heavens. After a while, it comes to a big fight between the heavenly kingdom and the demon realm. There, the cousin of Bai Qian plays a big role, because to get the favor of the demon king so that she can marry the second prince, she goes back to Kunlun and steals some tactical informations. In the end, she betrayed everyone. In the heavenly kingdom, Bai Qian, everyone on that side of the story. It seems that the heavenly forces are doomed. The Demon King knows about their plans. Moreover, Demon King is in the possession of the Donghua Bell. This bell is able to destroy the whole world. The end of this war marks the end of Bai Qian's first life. Now let's talk a little bit about the actors. Bai Qian is played by Yang Mi. She is a very well-known actress in China. I know her from, for example, from Painted Skin, The Resurrection. But she had a fair share of drama roles in her life. And film, of course. One of her other really well-known roles was in Chinese Paladin. Then we have Mark Chao, who plays Mo Yuan and Ye Hua. He's a Chinese-Canadian actor. We know him from other films and series like So Young and The Yin Yang Master. Bai Fangjiu is played by Dejava. She is also a very known Chinese actress from Uyghur descent. This year she had a blast with her role in You Are My Glory alongside Yang Yang, for example. And then there is Wang Gogao. He plays Donghua Dijun. His life is very interesting because he did not want to be an actor since he was a little child. Actually, he worked in quite a different job. If you want to know more about him, I could do a video just for that. The second prince, Li Jing, yeah, I didn't say his name before. He's called Li Jing. Is played by Win Zhang or Zhang Binbin. This little snack is known for his roles in The King's Woman or Chronicle of Life. And there are many, many more actors with really great portfolios. So overall, the cast is really good. High quality actors. Now, let's finish this off with what I liked and what I didn't like. The whole story is very dense and very complex, so we can easily understand why the characters make the decisions that they make. And there are a lot of highly interesting side plots. I just want to mention two of them right now. For example, there's the relationship between Donghua Dijun and Bai Fangjiu. They even became their own story in 3 Lives, 3 Worlds, the Pillow Book. That's a series on its own, which is just about the lives of Donghua Dijun and Bai Fangjiu. Or on the other hand, the life of the Demon Princess. It goes a little bit more in depth of what happens after the war and why she decides to leave and lead a life away from the demonic society. When she is away, one of the disciples of Mo Yuan finds her and wants to find out more about the demon clan and what they are up to. But is he really just spying on her? What I liked as well were the costumes. They are all so pretty and really well done. Like, for example, the tree ghost who works for Bai Qian. His attire is really, really cool and really detailed. I like that. And, of course, the soundtrack. Really nice background music. Appreciate. But there are things that I didn't like in this series as well. At first, the CGI and After Effects. What were those? They could have really done better on them. It's such a shame because the whole series is so good and then the effects are lacking sometimes. And that's just my opinion. The end comes a little fast. So I would have appreciated if they took a little bit more time to develop the end as well. So it's not just bam, 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 bam happening. Really big things happening, and end. I would have liked it to be a little bit more longer on this side because we have very long developing plots in the beginning. So it could have been a little longer in the end as well. But that's just because I think it's a really good, round and well-produced drama overall. Yeah, so all in all, it's a really enjoyable drama, and for me, it's one of the best xian dramas in the last years. Did you already watch it? What did you think about 10 Miles of Peach Blossom? Did you like it as well? What were your main points why you think it's a good drama? Or maybe not? Just tell me in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye!